Hansel and Gretel. In ancient times, poverty reigned everywhere in the world, even in a small cottage by the woods, where a father lived with his children, Hansel and Gretel. Along with them lived the father's second wife, a stepmother who didn't have much love for the children. She constantly complained that she already had too little, and now she had to feed two hungry mouths. She kept pestering her husband to take them into the woods and leave them there until he finally succumbed to her wicked words. So one day, he set off into the woods with the children, giving Hansel a piece of bread for the journey. He had a worried look on his face, which made Hansel feel uneasy. Hansel broke off crumbs from the bread and discreetly scattered them to mark the path they were taking. However, the father led them deeper and deeper into unknown territory. After a long time, they arrived at a clearing, and the father said that he would go and look for mushrooms or forest fruits. He instructed the children to rest there for a while. Hansel and Gretel waited, but their father did not return, and darkness was beginning to fall. Gretel started to cry, "We'll never find our way home now, and we'll be lost forever." Hansel tried to comfort her, saying, "Don't cry, Gretel. We won't be lost. I left a trail of breadcrumbs along the way. When we follow them, we'll find our way back home." So they decided to follow the breadcrumb trail, but, oh dear, there were no breadcrumbs left. The birds had eaten them. The children were hungry and had no idea which way to go. It was getting dark. "Wait, Hansel, I'll climb a tree to see if I can spot any light in the distance," Gretel said. And indeed, in the distance, she saw a little light. They ran in that direction and soon came upon a cottage. Not just any cottage, though, it was entirely constructed of gingerbread. Hungry Hansel broke off a piece of gingerbread right away, even though Gretel warned him against it. Suddenly, an old witch came out of the house. She cackled, "Who's stealing my gingerbread?" Hansel whispered, "Don't worry. It's just the wind." The witch went back into her house. But as soon as Hansel broke off another piece, she came running out again. Hansel and Gretel hid from her view. The witch, however, had already sensed them, grabbed them, and locked them in a cage. Every day, she fed them lots of gingerbread. She wanted to fatten them up well before eating them. When Hansel and Gretel had become plump enough, the witch decided to eat Hansel first. She stoked the oven and told Gretel to check if it was hot enough. Fortunately, Gretel was a clever girl and pretended not to understand. "But I don't know how to tell if the oven is hot. I'm still too young, and I've never baked anything." The witch just rolled her eyes and stuck her head into the oven to check. That was when Gretel seized the opportunity and pushed the witch inside, then slammed the oven door shut. She was quick and smart. With the witch gone, Gretel released Hansel from the cage, and they fled from the gingerbread house as fast as they could. They ran and ran without looking back. And then, what did they see? Their father. During the time the children were with the witch, their wicked stepmother had fled, leaving their father miserable. He had been searching the forest for them every day. So, while the witch was baking in the oven, their father and Hansel and Gretel returned home. They lived together happily ever after.